get me started. This is another Mike. This is Mike Campbell. He's a wonderful songwriter. We were going to have a duel with Lucky Mud, but Maggie McKinney is a much too good of a swords person, so it would not have been fair at all. She does all that Celtic stuff.
Guitar?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good?
Yeah, great.
So, all the way from, where are you all at now?
Northport, Florida.
Northport, Florida. Mike Campbell.
Hiya. Oh, Jimmy was a barred rock rooster. He lived outside in the yard. In any kind of weather, Jimmy had a pretty feather, but living with Jimmy was hard. He was always great with the chickens, seemed to have a pretty good head. But every morning at 4 a.m., Jimmy would wake us out of bed. There's a whole lot of squawking and a whole lot of talking. There's a whole lot of stinky chicken poo. But the worst thing about having chickens in the yard is Jimmy's old cock-a-doodle-doo. This your part. Doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. Now my neighbor on the right was William, and my neighbor on the left was Vi. And the neighbors in the back, they were Jill and Jack, and they all wanted Jimmy to die. 'Cause he woke them up every morning. They were not very happy, you see. And Jack and Jill and Vi and Bill were getting pretty mad at me. There's a whole lot of squawking and a whole lot of talking. There's a whole lot of stinky chicken too. But the worst thing about having chickens in the yard is Jimmy's old cock-a-doodle-doo. Doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. Now I tried to be a good neighbor. I invited them over for a cake. I mowed their lawns, and every week I gave them each a dozen fresh eggs. Next year under my Christmas tree, much to my surprise, I got a hatchet from old Jack and Jill. I got a roasting pan from Vi. Got a summons from the city. That was William's work, you see. 'Cause he don't like noise, and he don't like Jimmy, and he sure as hell don't like me. There's still a lot of squawking, and there's still a lot of talking, and there's still a lot of stinky chicken poo. But thanks to all of my neighbors, there's no more cock-a-doodle-doo. I said thanks to all of my neighbors, there's no more cock-a-doodle-doo. Doodle-doo, 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 doodle-doo. Song that kind of harks back to that time in the desert Southwest. Well, I used to be a cowboy down in southern Arizona. Used to ride along the border on an old Appaloosa, mending all the broken fences so the cattle don't stray. Oh, down Mexico way. Now there was a señorita living down in Sonora. I used to go and see her when I was working on the border, and I'd bring her little presents so her eyes would shine. Oh, trying to make her mine, but she had an evil brother by the name of Frederico. Everybody knew that Freddie was a bad bandito, wanted by the sheriff for breaking all the laws. Only just because he had robbed all the stages and he stole it from the bank. So when he'd go into cantinas, he would really get tanked. Pull out both his pistols and he'd fire them in the air. Oh, everybody gets scared, 'cause old Freddie had a habit when he was drinking at the bar. He liked to dance the cucaracha to the music of guitars. Everybody had to join him or shoot him in the head. Oh, until they was dead. One sunny day in Yuma, I was having me a toddy. It was hot enough to vaporize the sweat off of my body. I had just finished pouring me a giant glass of gin. Oh, and evil Freddie walked in. He'd been riding real hard, trying to outrun the posse. He was hot and he was sweaty. He was acting real bossy. Drew his big pistol and then he stuck it in my ear. Oh, and then he said real clear, "You've been with my little sister and maybe very bad. She's the only hermanita this hombre's ever had. So you better say your prayers to the man up in the sky. Oh, 'cause you're going to die! But before I shoot you, I am going to drink this glass of water." I just didn't have the heart to say I didn't think he oughta. He grabbed my glass of gin and then he chugged it like it down. Oh, and then his eyes spun around. He was coughing, he was wheezing, he was trying hard to breathe. Dropped his pistol on the table when he stumbled to his knees. I picked it up and turned it around and gave his head a clout. Oh, and evil Freddie passed out when the sheriff and his posse finally stumbled through the door. Well, I was standing over Freddie, who's unconscious on the floor, so we took some rope and tied up both his hands and his feet. Oh, Oh, and then the sheriff gave a speech. He said, "Cowboy, listen to me before you done your country proud. You have captured that bandito who was ugly, mean, and loud. Now tonight we'll all be thanking both you and the Lord." Oh, about the reward. Now I own a Rancho Grande and I'm living pretty high. Got evil pretty little sister, she the apple of my eye. You know, we got a dozen children and we're happy as can be. Oh, now about evil Freddy. Well, he'd been a model prisoner, so they let him out early. He had found himself religion and he saw us like we're clearly, but he didn't want to work around anybody else. Oh, he had to be by himself, so I hired him as a cowboy up in southern Arizona, where he rides along the border on an old Appaloosa, mending all my broken fences so my cattle don't stray. Oh, back to the USA. Oh, yeah, thank you very much. One more? Oh, my guys, we don't have any short ones. Only got long ones.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I was driving to Glen Allen in my big 10-wheeler truck when the new snow on the road caused me to slide off and get stuck. I was not worried, for I had been a Boy Scout as a lad, and I brought along my Carhartts if the weather should turn bad. So I put on bunny boots and donned bib overalls and coat. I'd bought them down at Brewster's and they kept me warm as toast. The bunny boots were snowy white, the Carhartts tawny brown, and dressed as warmly as can be, I started off towards town. Now I'd gone about 3 miles when it began once more to snow, and coming at me from the north a chilly wind did blow. This inclement stormy weather made it hard for me to see. I decided just to wait it out beneath an old spruce tree. It was then I saw the hunters in their camel-colored deuce. They were pointing rifles at me and were shouting, "There's a moose!" I waved my arms to warn them off, to show them it was me. Yeah. Then I realized this probably looked like antlers in the tree. Well, then suddenly a bullet struck the branch above my head. If I'd stood there any longer, I am sure that I'd be dead. Shots landed all around me as I slid down the ravine and took off running fast as any track star you have seen. I was sprinting hard to stay ahead, to keep from getting killed. And with all of this exertion, well, I was no longer chilled. So I peeled off and tossed away my dear old Carhartt coat. And as it fell, 4 shots rang out and blasted it to smoke. Now I kept on running even when the hunters lost their chase, and I credit my survival near entirely to haste. But I heard them cheering loudly as I crested o'er the hill, congratulating each other on the Carhartt coat they'd killed. Yes, I think back now and then about how close to death I came, and of how much brown duck canvas can resemble antlered game. So, to make sure that my body never does become extinct, all the clothes I wear into the woods are now fluorescent pink. And somewhere in America, just where I cannot say, there is a big game hunter with a trophy from that day. I know it's stuffed and mounted on his wall so he can gloat and tell stories of his courage when he killed my Carhartt coat. Thank you, folks. It's so good to be in Eustis again.
Mike Campbell, everyone.